Hi, in this tutorial we will turn a logo into a stained glass window or mosaic. I will show you the complete process from start to finish, a new feature introduced in Blender 2.82 and a way to get different sets of random numbers for the perfect look. Let's go! First, we need to create the pattern of the strips of metal holding the glass pieces in place. And we do that with a vector-based drawing app. I use Affinity Designer, but you can use Adobe Illustrator or anything else you're familiar with. I'm going to make it a square design. Now we bring in a logo. I'm using the Blender logo. I'm not familiar with how real stained glass windows are made, but my theory here is to first outline the logo with thicker lines, just to make them more prominent. Then create a kind of support structure, again using thicker lines, thinking that there has to be something holding up the weight of the glass, right? And then creating a somewhat random pattern to fill in the rest, trying to leave room for glass pieces of similar sizes, not too big, not too small. Now if I save this design as an SVG and import it into Blender, all I get are infinitely thin lines. Just the raw curve information, without any of the thickness I just put so much effort into. This is no good, so back to the vector art. Let me show you what we have to do. This is a single curve and it can have a thickness or even varying pressure thickness along its path. But it is always a curve that can be manipulated with these handles. What we want to export to Blender though would be the outline of this curve. And we can do that by simply going to Layer, Expand Stroke here in Affinity Designer. Other apps have a similar feature for this. Now I don't have a single curve any longer, but a filled shape. Let's go back to our design here. Select all the curves and Expand Stroke. Now we have a bunch of overlapping shapes, and knowing that this will not be good to work with in Blender, I want to combine them into a single shape, which can easily be done by a quick press of this button right here. Now I have a single object, which is the shape of the metal framing, and I can now export this to an SVG file and import that file in Blender. Here we go. The first and probably most important task is already done. In edit mode we can see that this got imported as curves, but I really want a solid mesh to work with. So in object mode I select object, convert to mesh from curve. Now going back to edit mode I can see that created a rather messy triangulated mesh. And before I continue I clean all of that up with a mesh cleanup limited dissolve. Now the mesh looks like this. The glass pieces, or tiles if you want to make a mosaic using this technique, are obviously all the areas between these lines. So right away I'm thinking Boolean operation. I go into edit mode and extrude this to give it some thickness, and just to be safe also select everything and recalculate the normals on the outside. Then I get a cube and in edit mode scale it down to make a thin sheet of glass out of this, thinner than my metal frame design. Now I add a Boolean modifier to the glass panel, set to difference, and pick the metal framing object, which cuts my sheet of glass into individual glass pieces. I apply the Boolean modifier and the glass is done. The real magic now happens in the materials. I have an environment texture set up in the world settings here to make everything look realistic, and I also placed some additional lights and set the camera to look straight at the design. To give the metal frame this cast iron look, I first add a remesh modifier with a rather high depth setting of 10 for example and apply it. This gives me a high poly mesh and cleans up the rather messy polygons we get from importing SVGs in Blender. Now in edit mode I select all the vertices and choose vertex smooth vertices. Set smoothing to 1 and repeat to 10, which rounds out all hard edges and connections between the strips of metal. This amount of geometry is definitely overkill and you can spend a bit more time here to get nice topology and then maybe add an adaptive subsurf modifier, but it's a quick and dirty solution. Now I can simply use a Musgrave texture to displace the surface like this and come up with some kind of interesting material for whatever look I'm going for. Okay, with the metal done, let's now create the glass material. I start off with a glass shader. To give each piece of glass a different color, I can use the random per island output of the geometry node. This is brand new in Blender 2.82, which is still in alpha at the time of this recording. This looks for separated pieces of geometry, so-called islands, inside a mesh and generates a random number between 0 and 1. By Ctrl-Shift clicking the geometry node until we get to the random per island output, we can see that in action. Each glass piece, each island of the mesh, now has a random value despite being all inside of a single object. This is a really cool new addition to the geometry node. Okay, so by using this value to drive a color ramp, I quickly get different colored pieces of glass. And I can always dial back the saturation with a hue value saturation node, of course, until I have a look that I like. Let me just quickly put together a color setup matching the Blender logo colors. Two more things to make everything look perfect. First, stained glass windows are usually not made out of modern, perfectly flat pieces of glass, but rather lumpy, wavy glass. To do that, I add a subdivision modifier set to simple and maybe 3 or 4 levels for rendering. Now I use a Musgrave texture plugged into a displacement node set to a very low 0.0001 or 2 or 3 to make the glass look really old. And, I hope you agree, much more interesting. And the last thing I want to show you in this tutorial is how you can change the random colors. A good random number generator algorithm is usually based on a so-called seed value. You might have seen the seed here in the scene settings for the ray tracer, or the random seed setting of a particle system before. The geometry node here in the material setup, however, doesn't allow me to change the random seeds, so it seems that I am stuck with these random colors. I asked the creator of this random per island feature on Twitter, and being the great guy that he is, he promptly replied and told me about a trick that I previously had no idea existed. Thanks, Omar. And if you're watching this, also a big thank you for your contribution to animation nodes. So here it is. You add a white noise texture and set it to 2D. For the input here, you need a vector, so you add a combine XYZ node and plug it in. For the X value, use the random output you already have. And now the Y value here can be changed to essentially produce a different set of random values. So by simply clicking through some Y values, I can find a color set that looks nice. Of course, this wonderful white noise texture magic also works for other random values. Like in this scene here, I have a bunch of individual Blender objects, the result of a cell fracture and rigid body simulation. The object info node has a random output, but again no possibility to change the random seed. But with the same white noise texture setup, I can now get different random colors. Super cool! And we are done with our stained glass window. If you want to make a mosaic instead, all you would have to do is play with the materials a bit to make it look like tiles and grout. And if you simply get rid of the metal framing completely and add a Catmull-Clark subdiv modifier with only 1 or 2 levels to the glass object, you get this crazy gemstone look. Now go ahead and create your own stained glass window of your logo and tag me so I can admire your work. You can download the finished blend files for the stained glass, the mosaic and the gemstones on patreon.com/chrisp. If you enjoyed this tutorial, please hit the like button and consider subscribing to the channel. Also, I love to read your comments, so please drop me a note below or on one of my socials. Thanks for watching, Chris P. out.